I remember watching TV and seeing other people's sleeping and eating out of garbage cans under bridges and in city parks. And I'm like,
you found yourself.
I found myself in the same position.
It's like I'm carrying 5,000 pounds on my shoulders.
I've always had faith in God, and I think I lost that faith probably shortly after I had my accident.
I will be honest with you, I was trying to die.
You know, the alcohol at first did the job, but then once I experienced the cocaine, the crack, it's an instant high.
The night I left and came here, I sat in the south parking lot for 30 minutes with my daughter in the car, and all we had was the clothes on our back. I managed to get out of the car and walk to the door, and I stood another 10 minutes. And Angel looked at me and said, "Mommy, this is a safe place, we'll be okay."
Once we go across the bridge, we'll make a left and go down the other bridge, and I can show you where I used to live. I remember watching TV and seeing other people's sleeping and eating out of garbage cans under bridges and in city parks. And I'm like,
you found yourself.
I found myself in the same position. And I'm like, God, why me?
Yeah.
My eternal flame went out. And when that happened to a person, in your core, your being, your soul, when that dies, you can't do anything. You can't function.
Yeah.
You can't go look for a job. You can't do the things that people do in order to survive. You can't. You just can't. But this is where I died at.
Right here.
Right here. This was my spot, and this was my spot right here. This is where I slept. I had about 3 blankets.
That's what you had to look up to.
Yes, yes.
That is not.
It's a grave.
Yeah.
Steve, it's a grave.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, it was the safest place to be. When it rained and everything and snowed like that, I'd come under here and look. I know this gate well. This gate here got the same handle on it that locks like this. And this goes down like that. Okay. They had a lock, a padlock on there. I had it cut, and I wasn't supposed to do it. And I would go in here and stay right here. When it got so bad, the snow would blow in here, but it wouldn't get up here. Some of the heat would come from inside there.
Okay.
But I had about 4 blankets and everything. I lay right here. And some nights I would cry myself to sleep, man. I mean it. I would cry myself to sleep. Because I used to say, I didn't deserve this. Why? But until I accepted that I did deserve it, because it was my responsibility to take care of Danny and do what Danny was supposed to have done for him, instead of self-destructing on the inside. And when your spirit dies and you give up, this is where you end up. And I'm just one of the blessed ones that didn't die, because so many of us didn't make it back through the doors or didn't go through the doors of center, where people could help you to be able to control your actions and do the things that it takes for you to get back on the road of feeling yourself, doing good, correcting your behavior, and everything that you always had that you lost. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And it's emotional even to be in here, which you can notice. But this is where I stayed at.
I couldn't do it for one night.
All right. Well, I'm telling you, that's why I said my spirit died.
The night I left and came here, I sat in the south parking lot for 30 minutes with my daughter in the car, and all we had was the clothes on our back. I managed to get out of the car and walk to the door, and I stood another 10 minutes. And Angel looked at me and said, "Mommy, this is a safe place, we'll be okay." And that's what pushed me through the door. My daughter knowing that this is the place that kept her safe before, this is the place that'll keep her safe again. And she knew that. She knew that's what Mommy needed. Last year, before we moved in, she had actually seen a video, one of the Christmas videos, and said that she wanted to help the kids here. So she had a mini yard sale in our front yard and took the money and went and bought coloring books and stuff for here. And then a couple weeks later, we ended up being here. Last year, before I was here, I was actually living with a boyfriend, and he was abusive, and that was what brought me here. You know, I've done the counseling through here, I've done some counseling outside of here, and I've healed past the scars that I thought I had covered up before, and I've actually got to the deep part of it and realized that I don't need some man to fulfill and make me feel like I'm loved. I have 3 beautiful children who do that on a daily basis, and I feel good about myself every time I look in the mirror. I've noticed in myself, though, more than I think I've noticed. I've carried myself different, I dress different. I try every day to make something positive out of the day, no matter how bad I feel. So I've started to pass it on to Angel, too. Angel has started to pick up on Mommy's little good things and start following it. So that makes me feel good. The ideal thing would be for me to have Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner with all my family at my house. You know, me make the big turkey and the big meal and have the dinner plates and the glasses and the placemats and all the good stuff that everybody else takes for granted on my table for my family.
How are you dealing with this?
Honestly, I don't know. Not, I have counseling and things like that, but, it just happened so recently. It's not, I haven't even fully processed it yet. I don't, I just I can't believe it. I think I'm still in shock.
Somehow, if it's possible, can you tell me the story of Jennifer and Haley?
Yeah. We came into the center, and I guess probably 7 days had gone by when she was sick. I brought her to the hospital, and they said that she had an upper respiratory, bronchitis. I sent her home with an inhaler. And the next morning, when we were eating breakfast, she looked like she was kind of blanking out. And I decided to bring her to a hospital. And they said that she doesn't have bronchitis. She's got double pneumonia. It's sepsis. So it's run through her bloodstream, and she was in septic shock. She was immediately put on a ventilator. She was 7.5 months pregnant. She suffered from a heart attack, a stroke, 2 collapsed lungs, seizures, paralysis. So they had thought they were going to deliver the baby, but the baby was born stillborn. So I lost Haley. That was 2 weeks into it, and then she went on to live for I guess another 1.5 months on the ventilator. When I think about it myself, I don't know how I'm getting through it, or how I'm dealing with it. I guess I just deal with it. I just do it. It's like I'm carrying 5,000 pounds on my shoulders.
Who are you?
I don't know no more.
You went deep right away on me, didn't you?
You asked for honesty.
Why don't you know? Where'd you get lost?
Oh man, God, man. My daughter gave me 2 grandchildren, in which she ended up losing to the state of Indiana. I had tangible custody of my grandson. And when she lost her parental rights, they took away my grandparents' rights. And he was, at that time in my life, he was the only thing that kept me sober, sustained me. And I miss him. I miss him so much. And I took every step I could humanly possible within the law. I couldn't afford a lawyer, so I did it myself. Went to the library, I got law books, family law books, talked to different attorneys that I do know. I asked questions, what can I do, where can I go, and they directed me where they could. We ended up over at probate court, in which when I walked in, even before I could present my evidence, the judge looked at me, he said, you have no right to even file for visitation. And that just took the life out of me. It was all I had. On the 30th of September is when I went to court.
Okay.
On the 2nd of October, I went down to the Life Treatment Center for detox, because I drank from the 30th to the 2nd.
Yeah.
I drank and I drank and I drank and I drank and I drank.
And you almost died.
I did. I will be honest with you, I was trying to die, because they took the only thing that loved me unconditionally, and I loved him. I loved him. I still do. I love him. I do. I wish they would just let me sing. That's all. I just, you know, you guys asked us for a Christmas list. If I could just see him. You know, sometimes I look at some ladies when they're holding their kids. And I just think about him, you know. Anything else you want to know? Because you're making me cry. You're making me cry. Basically, as far as me not knowing who I am, I think I'm going to have to find a new me again. I had to kill the old me. I can't go on and project to something greater if I can't drop the old me back. I have to leave the old me to find a new me. That's what I mean when you ask me, who am I? I don't know yet. I'll find out. Whoever she is, she's going to be great.
Finds Gary Hagen, huh? First thing comes to mind is recovery. I'm in recovery for addiction.
What's it like to have 40 days of sobriety?
Wow. I've been here before. I'm past the worst part of it. It's a daily struggle. It's a daily surrender to the disease of addiction. I have to know that it makes my life uncontrollable and unmanageable, and give it to God. I can't do it myself. I rely on my network of support groups, church, and my counselor and my case manager here at the center. I just don't like to feel I don't have coping mechanisms. I don't have coping defenses other than to self-medicate when I don't feel like feeling. And you know, the alcohol at first did the job, but then once I experienced the cocaine, the crack, it's an instant high, and that euphoric recall in my brain just draws me back to that when I experience one of life's difficulties or crisis. That's when I get triggered to cover it up.
A lot of people pretend to be someone they're not.
Yeah, that happens to me. That has happened to me a lot in the past. I buff myself up, go get tanned, I get in good top physical condition for my age, and then I don't worry about the stuff on the inside that I have to deal with, and that's been a problem. And that's why now, this last time, I've really been concentrating on the mental illness part of it, the obsession of thought and the compulsion to act on the thoughts without properly working through them and making rational decisions. You know, just dealing with my skeletons in the closet.
Hi, we're now entering the community garden, the Homeless Center Community Garden. It's a project that was started about 2 years ago. There are a lot of community gardens in and around South Bend. Right now we're in the fall season, so not everything's going to look as pretty as it should. I spent the better part of 4 months out here this year to get the garden to where it's at now. And we have had a lot of help. We had a lot of groups that have come in here and helped me out, volunteers actually from the community. I would generally come out here once a day, and I would stay out here at least 8 hours a day tending to the garden. I'm sure in the future I won't have to spend as much time out here now that we've got it established. But this garden has been pretty much kind of a solace for me. I was able to come out here and gather my thoughts and work with my hands and concentrate on what I was, my goals were for the future.
What kind of transformation has Eliberto gone through? We know that this garden has, and you had a hand in it, but has the center had a hand in your transformation?
Yes, it has. Actually, it's taught me to reconnect with the community. I've met a lot of people through the Junior League and the Granger Community Church, and a lot of the volunteer groups that come here, for instance, is the YPAPs, the Young Professional Against Poverty. And I've learned to reconnect with people, outside people that normally I wouldn't meet. Back in early 2001, I fell off of a building, and I broke my back, dislocated my shoulder, and broke my leg all at once. And I've been having health problems ever since, and that's what caused me not to be able to hold a job. My job at the time required me to repel buildings to wash windows, and the highest building I had repelled was 14 stories, and those were the Human Resources buildings at Notre Dame. And I'm glad that I didn't fall off of one of those buildings. I only fell 3 stories, and ever since then I've been having back problems. And I've always had faith in God, and I think I lost that faith probably shortly after I had my accident, and because things were just going downhill. At one time, my mother told me that I might have had a purpose in life because I could have died when I fell. And actually, this cross came from her. She sent it to me via my brother, and with a note that said that we are praying for you, there is hope. So I wear it every day. But I have faith in the future now. I see myself coming full circle with my faith, and hopefully slowly my life will come back together, and I'll be able to contribute to the community and pay it back for what they've done for me. I think the veteran program is just a plus. I wasn't thinking in terms of taking advantage of the veteran situation while I was here. Being part of this veterans group it definitely brought back a lot of esprit de corps amongst the people that are involved. A lot of the pride has been restored in some of these people that have been broken, and basically that's what we are when we come here. But I've been blessed with the garden and the veterans group, and that's kind of more than I expected. Just being involved in that group has helped them get like a course in life, and they're depending on that a lot to show that they can contribute to the community also. There's quite a few of us that still want to be involved with the veterans group after we leave here, because it's going to be a big part of our lives.
I have to leave the old me to find a new me. That's what I mean when you ask me, who am I? I don't know yet. I'll find out. Whoever she is, she's going to be great.
Carry myself different, I dress different. I try every day to make something positive out of the day, no matter how bad I feel. So I've started to pass it on to Angel too.
And I'm just one of the blessed ones that didn't die, because so many of us didn't make it back through the doors or didn't go through the doors of center.
I'm past the worst part of it. It's a daily struggle. It's a daily surrender.
I have faith in the future now. I see myself coming full circle with my faith, and hopefully slowly my life will come back together.
And I'm trying to make myself better, and I'm trying to push forward. And a lot of people look at us as the people under the street, or the people they see on TV as categorized as bums. We're trying to find work, you know, we're trying to take care of our kids, we're trying to make ourselves better. Give us a chance. Look at us and don't see where we live. Look at us like I'm your sister, your mother, your niece, your aunt, because that's who I am.
Thanks for
Hang in there, pal. Oh, man.
I try, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, some days are easier. Like there's days that, you know, we sit there and there's no way I could talk like that without breaking down.
Yeah.
Home to me is a place where I can come and lay my head, be comfortable, feel safe.
Home to me is wherever my children are, wherever my family is.
I think that the most important definition of home is a place that you're loved.
To me, coming in the center, my home was my grandchildren and my children. You know, being around me, me being able to see them, to talk to them, to tell them every day that I love them.
Having a home, that's basically why I like the center. Because if we didn't come here, I wouldn't have had a home. The center is great because when me and my mom were at our house, there was no electricity, no water. I had to spend the night at my mom's friend's house, and it wasn't fun. I wanted to spend the night at my own house, and my mom had to sleep in this cold, shivering house. And then we found out about a center, and it just changed our lives. We didn't think that this was going to be a good place, and then we found out there's kids here, there's games, there's activities, and I loved it here.
Here in my garden, I've got, I grew corn, I grew some cabbage, and I've got tomatoes that grew here, zucchini, I've got sweet peppers, hot peppers, turnips. This is the garden where I spent most of the time that I have been at the center. It's actually helped me stay grounded, helped me keep centered and focused on what I want to do with my life. They have so many programs that they offer to help a person lift themselves up from where they're at. And I think if a person actually goes through these programs and uses it to their benefit, they can pick themselves off the ground and with pride actually walk out of here and get their lives back together.
Actually, I came here and my daughter, who was pregnant with Gabriel, went to Hannah's house. And that was kind of devastating because it was like a break in our family. She was going there to do what she needed to do. I was coming here to do what I needed to do. And the other thing is that here being at the center and the counseling and everything, I got my marriage back. I moved out of the center back home with my husband. So actually the center helped me bring my family back intact to where I have my husband, my children, and my grandchildren.
It is amazing to me how much community means here at the center. Not only is the center an important part of our larger community, but the center is in itself a community. Everyone is always so generous and so outgoing and so helpful, and it's within the building and it's also within the community that we have so many people that want so badly to be a part of our mission and to touch our guests and our children's lives.
Hello, I'm Martin Sheen, and I'm committed to fighting injustice. And one such injustice that we see every day right here in South Bend is the injustice of poverty and homelessness. And I want to congratulate the Center for the Homeless, who have been serving this community for the past 20 years. We're grateful that you've been there for the 28,000 men, women, and especially the children over these past 20 years. And while we wish there was absolutely no need for your services at all, as long as there's one person on the street or in need of your service, we're glad you're there. And we hope you stay there for another 20 years. So happy birthday, thank you, and congratulations.
Boom, boom, clap, boom, clap, clap, boom, clap, boom, clap, clap. 1, 2, 3. Every episode, I'm gonna show you how to be. That's gonna make you move your feet. I give you barbecue, and I'll show you how to move. If you 5 or 82, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Twinkle, twinkle, little cow. How I wonder how you make milk. Yeah. Now it's your turn, Marilyn. I have to get closer down to her so she can talk. You have to talk to that. Talk to that thingy.
It was last time since I saw you. It was last time since I told you. I can't wait till I know I can see you again and again. And do you know everything is falling? Do you know everything is broken? It feels like I'm choking because of you. Ooh, I can't wait till I know I can see you again.
Lean to left, 3 times, shake it out, head to toes. So hard, guys, that's how we will. Do the hold down, throw down, do the hold down, throw down, do the hold down, throw down, throw down, guys, that's how we roll.
Whoa, go Aaliyah! That was absolutely beautiful.